Chapter 1. I could not speak. I wanted to talk, but no words came out. I wanted to learn, but I did not know how to start. My name is Arjun. I live in a small town. I go to school every day. I like to read books. I like to watch movies. But I have one big problem. I cannot speak English. I try many times. I try in class. I try at home. But I make mistakes. I feel shy. I feel scared. I stop speaking. At school, my teacher asks a question. I know the answer, but I stay quiet. My heart beats fast. My face feels hot. I look down. I say nothing. My classmates speak well. They smile. They laugh. I listen to them. I feel small. I feel weak. I ask myself, why can't I speak like them? At home, I sit with my books. I read many words. I learn grammar rules. I write long notes, but I still do not speak. My father says, you must speak to learn. I nod, but I stay silent. I think, what if I say something wrong? That thought stops me. I watch TV. I hear people speak fast English. I understand a few words. I try to repeat. My voice sounds strange. I stop again. I feel sad. I feel lost. I look at my mirror. I say, hello. Then I stop. I feel silly. I do not smile. One day, I find a video online. The man says, English is not only grammar. English is practice. That line stays with me. I write it on a paper. I put it on my wall. I look at it every day. I say, yes, I will try. I wake up early. I sit on my bed. I talk to myself. I say simple things. My name is Arjun. I go to school. I like apples. I say them again. I say them slow. I do not stop. I do not feel scared. I feel a little strong. The next day, I try one more sentence. My house is small. Then I say, I live with my parents. My voice gets better. I feel better. I keep going. I try new lines each day. I speak to my dog. I speak to the mirror. I speak to the wall. I do not care. I just speak. At school, I see a chance. The teacher asks again. I raise my hand. My voice is low. I say, the answer is 3. My voice shakes, but I speak. The teacher nods. I feel happy. I say to myself, I did it. That night I sit with my mother. I tell her, I spoke English in class today. She smiles. She says, I am proud. I feel warm. I feel brave. I want to try again. I make a new plan. Each day I will learn 5 new words. I will use them in my sentences. I will speak them out loud. I write the words in a small book. I carry it in my pocket. When I wait for the bus, I open the book. I read the words. I say them one by one. I say, rain, cloud, sky, wind, storm. I make a sentence. Today the sky is full of clouds. I repeat it. I smile. My journey starts small, but I do not stop. I make mistakes, but I do not quit. I forget words, but I try again. I learn that speaking is not just about words. It is about courage. It is about trying. It is about taking small steps every day. Now I speak a little better. I feel a little stronger. I still have more to learn. But I know one thing. I am not afraid now. I want to grow. I want to speak more. I want to tell my story in English. Chapter 2. I wanted to learn, but I did not know how. I sat in my room. I looked at my books. I had many books. Grammar books, vocabulary books, English story books. But I did not know what to do first. I felt lost. I wanted to speak English. I wanted to learn fast. But I did not have a plan. I opened one book. I read one page. Then I closed it. I felt bored. I opened another book. I saw many big words. I felt tired. I did not understand everything. I closed the book again. I said to myself, "This is hard." I walked to my window. I looked outside. I saw people talking. Some laughed, some shouted. I listened. They all spoke my language, not English. No one spoke English in my town. I had no one to talk to. I had no one to help me. I thought, how can I learn if I am alone? Then I had one idea. I went to my uncle's house. He had a phone. He had internet. I asked him, "Can I use your phone to learn English?" He said yes. I sat down. I opened YouTube. I typed, "How to learn English." Many videos came. I clicked on one. A woman spoke slowly. She said, "Start with small sentences. Use easy words. Speak every day." Her words were clear. Her voice was kind. I felt hope. I watched more videos. I wrote notes. I copied sentences. This is a book. I have a pencil. My name is Arjun. These were easy. I said them out loud. I liked the sound. I liked my voice. It was small, but it was a start. Next, I found a video with pictures. The speaker said, Sunday, moon, sky, river. I saw the picture. I said the word. I did this every day. I watched one new video each day. I spoke one new word each day. I wrote simple lines in my notebook. I read them every morning. Soon, I made a rule for myself. One video, 5 words, one new sentence. That was my rule. I followed it. I did not miss a day. I made mistakes. I forgot words. But I came back. I tried again. I said, I can do this. One day, my cousin saw me. He asked, "What are you doing?" I said, "I am learning English." He said, "Can I learn with you?" I said yes. We sat together. We watched videos. We said words. We made sentences. We laughed. We helped each other. Learning was more fun with him. We made a game. One person said a sentence. The other said the next. I have a cat. The cat is white. It sleeps on the bed. The bed is soft. We played this game every day. We learned more. We smiled more. We felt good. I also used my room to practice. I looked around. I said what I saw. This is a table. The chair is brown. I see a bag. My shoes are under the bed. I talked to myself. I did not feel shy. I felt strong. I also sang songs in English. I played one song every morning. I read the lyrics. I sang slowly. I learned new words. I felt happy. The music made me feel light. I started to enjoy English. I started to write short notes. I wrote about my day. I woke up early. I brushed my teeth. I ate 2 eggs. I went to school. I came back home. I wrote 1 page each night. It helped me think in English. It helped me remember new words. After some weeks, I saw a change. I could speak better. I could understand more. I could write more. I felt proud. I smiled more. I did not feel lost now. I had a way. I had a plan. I was not perfect, but I was learning. I said to myself, this is just the beginning. I will not stop. I will grow more. I will speak more. I will learn every day. Chapter 3. My fear was bigger than my mistakes. I wanted to speak English, but something stopped me. It was not grammar. It was not vocabulary. It was fear. I was afraid. I thought people would laugh at me. I thought they would say, "Your English is bad." So I stayed quiet. Even when I knew the right words, I said nothing. At school, the teacher asked a question. I knew the answer in English, but I did not raise my hand. I kept my mouth shut. My heart beat fast. I looked at the ground. I wanted to speak, but fear won. When I went to the market, I saw a tourist. He looked lost. I knew what to say. "Can I help you?" But I said nothing. I watched someone else help him. I walked away. My fear was stronger than my English. At home, I looked in the mirror. I asked myself, "Why are you so scared?" I had no answer. I just felt weak. I thought about my friends. They laughed when someone made a mistake. That scared me more. I did not want to be the one they laughed at. Then one day, my teacher told a story. She said, "When I was young, I also feared English. I made many mistakes. People laughed, but I did not stop. I kept going." Her words touched me. I thought, if she can do it, maybe I can too. That night, I wrote one sentence on paper. Mistakes are part of learning. I put it on my wall. I read it every morning. I told myself, I will not fear. I will try. The next day, I spoke one line in class. I said, "The sun is bright." It was not perfect, but I said it. No one laughed. The teacher smiled. I felt happy. I said to myself, I can do this. I made a new rule. One mistake every day. That was my goal. I had to make one mistake. I had to speak. Even if I was wrong, I had to try. I said simple things. I go to school. I like mango. My friend is tall. Some words were wrong. Some grammar was bad. But I kept going. Soon, I did not care about mistakes. I only cared about practice. I started to speak more. At school, at home, at the shop. I tried small lines. People listened. Some smiled. Some helped. No one laughed. One day, I met a man from another country. He spoke little English. I spoke with him. I said, "Welcome to our town." He smiled. He said, "Thank you." That one moment gave me power. I knew my words had meaning. I felt proud. I also learned something important. People who speak well today made many mistakes before. They failed. They forgot words. They got stuck. But they did not stop. They learned because they tried. I said to myself, fear is not real. It is only a thought. I can win over it. I looked back. I saw how far I came. I remembered the time when I said nothing. Now I speak every day. That is growth. Now I help my younger cousin. He wants to learn English. He is shy. He fears mistakes. I tell him, Do not fear. Just speak. I will not laugh. I will help. He listens. He tries. He learns. I also write my feelings in a small diary. I write, "Today I spoke 5 lines. Today I made 2 mistakes. Today I felt brave." This helps me see my steps, small steps, but they are mine. I now understand that fear is not the end. It is the start. When I face fear, I grow. When I speak, I become stronger. Every line I say makes me better. Chapter 4. Speaking Alone was my first real practice. I had no English teacher at home. I had no English class after school. I had no friend who could speak English with me. I had only myself. But I still wanted to learn. I still wanted to speak. So I made a choice. I decided to speak alone. In the morning, I stood in front of the mirror. I looked at myself. I said, "Good morning. How are you?" Then I answered myself, "I am fine. Thank you." I smiled. It felt strange, but I liked it. It was like I was talking to a friend, but the friend was me. Every day I picked one topic. One day I talked about food. I eat rice. I like bananas. My mother cooks well. Another day I talked about school. I go to school by bus. My teacher is nice. We have 6 subjects. These were simple lines, but they gave me power. Sometimes I walked around my house. I pointed at things. This is a chair. That is the door. The fan is fast. My bag is on the table. I said everything I could see. I did this many times. I did not feel bored. I was training my mind. I was training my tongue. In the bathroom, I talked about my day. I said, I woke up at 6. I brushed my teeth. I took a shower. Now I feel fresh. There was no one around, no one to laugh, no one to correct. But that was okay. I was not trying to be perfect. I was just trying to speak. At night, I sat on my bed. I spoke 5 lines before sleep. Today, I read a new word. I watched one English video. I said 10 new lines. I feel better now. Tomorrow I will try more. These small talks made my mind ready. They gave me confidence. One day I recorded my voice. I used my cousin's phone. I said, "Hello, my name is Arjun. I am learning English. I speak every day." Then I played it. I heard my voice. It was slow, but it was real. It was me. I smiled. I felt proud. I did this every week. I listened to my old voice. Then I recorded a new one. I saw the change. My voice became faster. My words became better. I was growing, alone, but not weak. One morning, I made a video. I looked at the camera. I said, "This is my room. This is my bed. I study here. I speak English every day." Then I showed the room. I felt like a YouTuber. I showed my English world. I felt brave. Speaking alone helped me in many ways. It gave me time. It gave me peace. I could try again and again. I could speak without fear. I could learn my own way. When I made a mistake, I stopped. I said the line again. I learned to listen to myself. I fixed small things. I said, "He go to school." Then I said, "No, he goes to school. I smiled. I was becoming my own teacher. My room became my classroom. My voice became my lesson. My heart became my friend. I was no longer waiting for someone to help. I was helping myself. Now I tell others, speak alone. Don't wait. Start now. You don't need a partner. You don't need a school. You just need your voice. You just need your time. Speaking alone made me bold. It made me ready. So when I met someone who spoke English, I did not freeze. I talked. I used simple words. I was not perfect, but I was confident. And that confidence was the key. Chapter 5. I found words in the real world. I did not always learn English from books. I found English in my daily life, on signs, on packets, on phones, on TV. I started to look at the world like a classroom. Everything had a word. Everything became my teacher. I went to the shop. I saw a biscuit packet. It said the crunchy and sweet. I read it aloud. I said the crunchy means something that breaks with sound. That was a new word. I smiled. I put that word in my mind. I used it later. I said, my chips are crunchy. I felt smart. One day I looked at my shampoo bottle. It said, soft and smooth. I said it aloud. I read every word. Apply. Washington rinse. I did not understand all of them. But I guessed. I used the pictures. I understood the action. I felt like a detective. I walked down the street. I saw a big board. It said, keep clean. I knew those two words, but now I saw them together. I said, this is a rule. I looked at more signs. No parking. Use me. Push. Pull. I started to read every board, every label, every line. English was all around me. I also watched cartoons in English. I did not understand every line, but I watched the actions. I saw the faces. I guessed the meaning. Slowly, I learned new phrases, like, what's wrong? Let's go. I got it. I started to say them too. Sometimes I copied the voices. It was fun. My phone became my dictionary. When I heard a new word, I searched it. I wrote it down. I made a small notebook. Every day, 5 new words. I wrote the word. I wrote the meaning. I wrote one line. Like, proud. I feel proud of my work. That line helped me remember. I also started using small English apps. Some had pictures. Some had small tests. I didn't score well in the beginning, but I didn't stop. I tried again. I clicked the right answers. Slowly, I improved. I saw my marks go up. That gave me joy. My world became a place of learning. I listened when people spoke English. I did not understand everything, but I caught some words. I remembered them. I used them later. I said, excuse me. I'm sorry. Nice to meet you. These words were short, but powerful. I also talked to myself when I walked. I said, this is a tree. The sun is bright. I'm going to school. I used the world around me. Every step became a sentence. Every place became a topic. One evening, my uncle came home. He works in a hotel. He speaks English at work. I asked him, what do you say to the guests? He said, welcome, sir. Have a nice day. Can I help you? I wrote them down. I said them again and again. I imagined I was in a hotel too. That night I played a game. I looked at one thing in my room. I had to say 5 lines about it. I looked at my bag. I said, "My bag is black. It is small. I take it to school. It has 2 books. It is on my chair." That was my game. It helped me speak. I learned this. English is not only in books, it is on the road, on the phone, on TV, in songs, in shops. It is everywhere. We only need to see it. We only need to use it. Now, when I step outside, I do not just walk. I read. I listen. I talk. I learn. Every place teaches me something new, and every word becomes a step in my journey. Chapter 6. My first time speaking to a stranger. One day, I went to the bus stop. It was hot. I waited for my bus. A man stood next to me. He looked like a tourist. He had a map. He looked lost. He turned to me and said, "Excuse me, do you know this place?" I froze. I heard his words, but I was nervous. My hands felt cold. My heart beat fast. I wanted to speak. I knew the place. It was close, but I was scared. What if I said it wrong? What if he didn't understand me? I looked at him. I took a deep breath. Then I said, "Yes, that place is near." He smiled. I felt a little strong. I continued, "Go straight, then left. You see big shop." He nodded. I said, "The place is behind shop." He said, "Thank you so much." I said, "You are welcome." He walked away. I stood there. I could not stop smiling. I spoke English to a real person for the first time. That moment changed me. I learned something big. I didn't need perfect English. I just needed courage. The man understood me. I helped him. That was enough. I felt proud. After that day, I wanted to try more. I started small. I went to a juice shop. I said, "1 mango juice, please." The man said, "Okay." I said, "No sugar." He nodded. I paid. I said, "Thank you." That was all. But it was English. I used it in real life. I started using short English lines everywhere. At the market, I said, "How much is this?" At school, I said, "Can I borrow your pen?" At home, I said, "I am tired today." My parents smiled. They saw my effort. One day, a teacher asked me something in English. He said, "Did you do your homework?" I said, "Yes, I did." He smiled. He said, "Good." That smile gave me power. I felt I was moving forward. I also made mistakes. One time I said, "He go to school." My friend laughed. Then he said, "No, he goes to school." I said, "Okay." Thank you. I didn't feel bad. I just learned. I said the line again. This time it was right. Mistakes did not stop me. They helped me. I used simple words. I kept my lines short, but I spoke. I didn't hide. I didn't wait. I didn't say, "I will speak later." I said, "I will speak now." That changed everything. Now I try to talk to one new person every week. It can be a shopkeeper, a classmate, a visitor. I just say a few words. I ask something simple, like, "What time is it?" or "Where is the gate?" Sometimes they answer in my language, but I reply in English. Slowly, they reply in English too. Every time I talk, I learn. Every time I try, I grow. I do not think too much. I do not wait for big words. I just speak. I use what I know. I speak with my heart. I know I am not perfect, but I am better than before, and I will be better tomorrow. This is not a race. This is my journey. Chapter 7. When I started to think in English at first, I translated every line in my head. I heard a word in English. I changed it into my language. Then I answered. It was slow. It made me tired. I wanted to speak fast, but my mind was busy with 2 languages. It was hard. Then I read a tip. It said, try to think in English. I did not understand at first. How can I think in a new language? But I wanted to try. So I started small. I saw an apple on the table. I said in my mind, this is an apple. Not in my language, but in English. I walked to the door. I said in my head, I am going out. I looked at my watch. I said, it is 5 o'clock. These were small things, but they helped me. Every morning I told myself 3 lines in English, like, today is a good day. I will learn something new. I will try to speak English. These lines made me feel ready. I did this every day. I also talked to myself in English. When I was alone, I said, I am walking now. The sun is bright. I feel happy. I didn't wait for others. I became my own speaking partner. One day I had a problem. I lost my pen. I looked for it. I said in my mind, where is my pen? It was on the table. Now it is gone. I spoke all this in English. I did not plan it. It just came. I smiled. I was thinking in English. I also used pictures. I looked at a photo of a park. I said, there is a bench. A boy is playing. The sky is blue. I didn't write it. I just said it in my mind. That practice helped me speak better. Slowly, I stopped translating. I started understanding English as it was. When someone said, come here, I didn't think in my language. I just understood it. I moved. That was a big step. I knew many words now, but I needed to connect them. I started to use simple lines like, I want to eat. She is tired. They are my friends. These lines helped me speak fast and clear. I used them many times. I also played games. I picked one object. I said 5 things about it in my mind, like, this is a chair. It is brown. It is soft. It has 4 legs. I sit on it. This made my brain think in English without fear. Some nights I told myself a story. I said, today I woke up late. I missed the bus. But my friend helped me. I spoke this story in simple lines. I smiled. I slept well. Now, when I hear a new word, I try to use it. I say, this word is nice. Can I use it in a line? Let me try. This habit made me active. It made me brave. Thinking in English is not magic. It is practice. It starts with one word, then one line, then one thought. We do it step by step. Now my mind is more open. I do not feel slow. I do not feel lost. I think in English. I speak better. I feel free. Chapter 8. My confidence and my new life. Today I feel proud. I can speak. I can listen. I can answer. I can ask. I use English every day. I speak with friends. I talk to teachers. I ask for help. I share ideas. I am not perfect, but I am better than before. 1 year ago, I was scared. I could not say one full sentence. I felt small. I thought I could never speak. But I did not stop. I stood again and again. I made mistakes. I learned from them. I tried again. That is how I grew. Now I can call people. I can order food. I can write short stories. I can ask questions in class. I can read signs. I can talk to strangers. My English is not big, but it is enough. It helps me. It works. I still learn new words. I still forget some rules, but I do not feel bad. I feel good because I try, because I speak, because I think in English. I speak with a smile. I enjoy every word. One day, a new boy came to my class. He could not speak English. He looked nervous. I sat next to him. I said, "Hi, my name is Sam." He said his name. I asked, "Do you need help?" He smiled. He said, "Yes." That moment felt special. I helped someone like me. I became the friend I once needed. Now, I believe this truth. English is not hard. We make it hard when we fear. But if we speak a little each day, it becomes easy. One line is enough. One word is a start. We don't need big grammar. We need a brave heart. I also know this. You can learn too. You don't need to be smart. You need to be strong. You need to try. You need to speak every day, anywhere, with anyone. Don't wait. Don't say, "I will try tomorrow." Say, "I will speak today." I want to travel. I want to meet new people. I want to share my story. I want to learn more. I want to grow. English gives me this chance. It gives me power. It opens new doors. I feel free now. I don't hide. I don't stay silent. I talk. I laugh. I ask. I answer. I live in English. This is my new life. It is not perfect, but it is mine. I built it. One word at a time. So this is my story, my struggle to learn English. It was not easy, but it was worth it. If you are watching this, I want to tell you something. Don't give up. You are not alone. You can speak. You can grow. You can shine. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for your time. If this story helps you, please share it. And don't forget to subscribe to English Spoken Stories. This is your home. This is your place to grow. Speak with us. Learn with us. Let's take one more step together.